last night, while our people are over there fighting, you want to know what he was doing?
Yeah.
You want to take a look at what he was. Let me show you what he was doing. That's got people talking about this person that came on stage with him has a career in politics. Take a look at this.
And God's got us. Trump's got us. God bless. Love you, Kentucky.
Now, he's a great guy. He's a courageous guy and a talented guy. He's a hell of a fighter, too, by the way. And I just want to say, I'm going to make a prediction that you will be, in the not too distant future, running for political office. Okay? And you have my complete and total endorsement, okay?
So I guess now there's a chance we see Jake Paul in a political office of some kind? Well, President Trump seems to think so, because at a rally in Kentucky, he had Jake Paul as a guest and said that he's a courageous guy and a hell of a fighter, but also said that he predicts he will see Jake run for a political office in the near future. He caps it off by saying Jake has his complete and total endorsement. Was really not expecting this day, but what do you guys think about Jake Paul succeeding as a political figure in the future after his boxing career is over?
Lord have mercy. E-Man, you can have the floor on this one first. What do you think about Jake Paul and the potential for him? And the last fight he didn't he get knocked out? But
Sure
that's
did.
neither here nor there.
By a big
What do you
black
think-
British man.
Yeah, man. What do you think about his opportunities in running for office and possibly winning?
So I think, first of all, this is natural evolution, right? We have declined as a society in terms of our political acumen and what we look for in politicians. We came from a system where it was all about your resume, it was about your credentials, it was about your integrity. We might have differed on policies, but at the end of the day, we weren't putting people that were incredibly unqualified to be in office or hold political positions. We have now devolved into that position. And I say that it's an evolution for Trump potentially with the Jake Paul, because think about it. Trump was never qualified to be a president. He was always a joke the moment he was even considered to run. And he was a reality TV star, right? Yes, he had his little businesses and stuff like that, but he really started to pick up steam because of The Apprentice, and that's where he really started to get more on the mainstream TV. But look at the natural progression of reality TV to social media. Now he's trying to endorse a social media influencer, right? Because let's be honest, Jake Paul is nothing much more than that. He's trying to act like he's a real boxer or whatever, but at the end of the day, he's really just in it for the social media cachet. So, I think that it is sad that because of the state of politics that we're in, you literally could have someone like a Jake Paul run for political office. I'm not saying president, but just representative or Congress, because one, they have a lot of money. They can, do a lot of campaigning easily. Two, they have a lot of connections in the political and business world. And three, they have name brand recognition. Sadly, you have far too many Americans who don't even look past that. They will just be like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, he's saying certain things that sound okay. So why not? Right? I'll just vote for him. Let's be honest. People were not really voting nowadays for actual policies. They're voting for tribes. They're voting for the side that looks like them, sounds like them, that they can go have a beer with. And that's why we are where we are today. So do I think Jake Paul has any business in the political realm? Absolutely not. Dude is a walking joke, even in the boxing realm, right? But do I think that, he could actually have a shot? Yeah, sadly, because, and I don't care. I'll say it. There are a lot of dumb people out there. There are a lot of people that are misinformed, ill-informed. And, what did Trump say? I love the uneducated, right? Because we've seen, and this is not a slight against them per se, but we have seen statistically people with lesser education happen to vote Republican or specifically MAGA. So again, it's not a shot. It's just stats, right? So, it saddens me that this is the case, because I've always predicted this too, not officially on video, but I've always said in our lifetime, we will see a social media influencer become president one day, just because of the way followings work, the way that people again are going towards tribalism. It's not going to surprise me before we're 90, 100 years old if we see somebody with millions of followers, I don't know, Taylor Swift, whatever, end up becoming a president just because of followings, just because of that, not because of the actual policies, but because of that. And it's sad, but that's the trajectory.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm at 404,000, and if you want to get me to a million and see me run for office, do it, because I can tell you I'm changing shit the fuck up quick. Everything Trump has done to saber rattle that office, to the plight of the rich people, I will be in there doing it for us. You feel me? Healthcare, child care, veterans going to be taken care of. We getting out of them wars. We're going to make sure that all those years that the GOP lied to us about socialism, we're going to get that shit back. And we're going to be taxing the hell out of them billionaires. We're going to change that shit up if I get office. But anyway, on this Jake Paul situation, E-Man, here's the issue with this. I've said that we are living in the age of delightment, because what the Republican, and look, I got to say this too, we have to give some blame to the Democrats.
Yeah,
we just got to. We just got to. A lot 100%. Of why we're in this place is because of their asses. Trump and the GOP cheat, and they have conditioned their people to accept cheating, lies, and being dumb. And they've also hyped up religion, because they know that if you can get people to believe in religion, they'll start dropping critical thinking. They'll start thinking they don't need education because they're getting it from the Bible. And Christianity is just one religion out of thousands in the world. And this country is supposed to have a separation of church and state. And that's where you can't separate what you learned in the Bible from what you need to be getting of how this country runs, how economics work, how policy work. But the GOP figured out we can keep these dummies dumb. They'll vote for us. We can lie to them and say capitalism is the greatest thing since sliced bread, and they'll put butter on it. And then on top of that, you have people thinking that no matter how bad things get, no matter how dumb we become, we can just look to our Republican leaders to tell us the truth. And some of the time they don't even know they're being lied to. So do I think a Jake Paul could somehow or another get in office? Hell yeah. And I don't think me and you going to have to wait till we in our 70s and 80s and stuff like that. We ain't going to have to wait that long unless the Democrats can get in here, and when they take power, use it. The Republicans do not play on this is the way protocol should be. No, I'm still mad with Obama because he didn't get his judge pick. That would have stopped a lot of this foolishness.
Yeah,
I'm mad at.
I don't like Merrick Garland either. Like even as a attorney general, dude dragged his feet on everything.
Bro,
terrible.
You just heard me say Joe Biden. The next word that was going to come out of my mouth was Merrick Garland. These Epstein things, they should have took over that. A 100%. Lot of what we're seeing could have been nipped in the bud by Democrats, but they didn't have the cojones to do it. And even the way the electorate is made, we need to fix that shit too. There is no reason South Dakota and North Dakota should have the same amount of weight senatorially as a New York, as a California, because the hubs of population are in these cities. And we've got to get them in there to do something about that, or we're going to continue to see these type of people getting in office, winning, bringing racism right to the doorstep, and then to tell people, I'm not racist. You just said you hate Jews. How are you not racist? You just said you want to get rid of DEI. And the way as Black people, the way I look at DEI now, since y'all want to take the word woke and make it a pejorative, DEI for white dudes didn't earn it. That's what DEI is for white dudes. And y'all let us know what you think. Post your comments.